So now the next question is, describe your experience in the job market. So now you have done this, what happened with this, how was it, basically?
Yeah, so before even going into the job market and then my first day in the job market, it was really scary because all we were all hearing was the job market is terrible right now. The job market sucks. So that wasn't the best feeling going into the job market. I was immediately right then and there, I was kind of nervous. I was like, man, I'm going into the worst job market we've ever seen in a while. But I kind of had that mindset where I didn't want that to affect it, right? I mean, the worst thing that can happen was I'm still looking for a job, right? And the best thing that can happen is I will find that perfect opportunity. But the job market, it had its ups and downs. I had the good days where I'd hear back from a lot of recruiters. I'd hear like recruiters would just reach out to me. I would hear back from jobs. And I had the bad, slow days where, a week would go by and I don't hear from anybody. And you start thinking, is it just me as a person? Am I like, am I ever gonna make this work? And on the good days, you feel like you're on the top of the mountain, right? You get a little confident, you get a little cocky. You're like, yeah, I'm I'm a great DevOps engineer, but um, my process, I've been kind of blessed where I was in the market for 2.5 to 3 months. I kind of thought it might take even longer than that, but I've been even Ashraf, I think he was in the QA bootcamp. I think he got a job in 3 months too. So, it's definitely possible. Anybody that's doing the bootcamp right now and worried about going to the job market, I wouldn't stress out too much about, oh, the job market is too bad right now, because if you truly have that mindset where you say, I'm not going to let any, bad market affect my ability to get a job, then you will get a job. But you have to treat it like a 9 to 5. I think a lot of people think like, oh, yeah, all I do is just apply. And then when I get a phone call or email, I'll reply back. But no, you have to treat it like a 9 to 5, because you have to be ready to pick up that phone. You have to be ready to answer that email. And applying for a job takes a really long time. I think a lot of people think, you just hit that apply button, but you have to tweak your resume. Obviously, according to the job description, you don't want to, lie on your resume saying you don't have, you know how to use one tool, but you actually don't. That's going to backfire. But, a lot of tools, one job description might say, we want to use this tool, but we weren't exposed to that tool. But a lot of these tools, are the same. They do the same thing. It's just, different companies use different tools. So don't let that, you know, um, waver you from applying to the job. But applying to jobs, takes a long time. I think, applying to 10 to 15 a day. That's something, I recommend, because, taking your resume and then tweaking it to the job description goes a long way. You don't want to use the same, um, resume for each JD. You want to tweak it to the best of your ability, and yeah, that takes a long time. So I was spending a lot of my day continuously tweaking on my resume, and then also applying to these jobs. But it's a long process, interviewing and doing the answering the interview questions from TS4U's content. Is just, when you're in the job market, that's a whole nother ball game. I think one thing that surprised me a lot is when I was actually done with all the content, I was like, now comes the easy part, applying to the jobs. But that turned out to be the hardest part. I was like, I'm done with all the content. Things are looking on the bright side. But when you get into the job market, it's a whole he told me from the beginning it's a whole nother ballgame. I was like, no, it's probably like much more easier, but no, it really is. You start getting more, a little bit, you gotta get a lot less comfortable. You start getting, a little bit more stressed out. It keeps you on your toes, which is a good thing, but you have to just be fully confident. I was just fully confident. I was like, okay, whatever happens, the good days, the bad days, if I stay 100% committed. You told me from the very beginning, the only way things are not going to work out is if you give up. It doesn't matter if it takes 3 months, 6 months, a month, 1 year. The person that never gave up from the program always landed a job. And then the people that give up, they never do it. And so that was just in the back of my mind, you know, if I give up, then I have so much to lose. But if I don't give up, I have so much to gain. So that was just the mentality, you know, I was keeping. Whereas, like, if I don't give up, then, you know, the outcome, the goal I set out for myself will eventually happen. And there's times where I did feel like, you know, like, oh, can I really do this? Is it, you know, I might cut out for this, but you have to really push through that. And once you push through that, you do realize, you know, I've been working so hard for a reason. You are cut out for it. And then as long as you don't give up, then you will obtain that goal no matter what.
Thank you.